Hello, welcome. My name is Cesar Armendariz, and today I will be talking to you guys about the career of an economics teacher in post-secondary education. Let's get started on exploring this magnificent career. Just a bit of background about myself. I am a former Gear Up student, graduated from El Dorado High School class of 2017, and I am now a Gear Up tutor at Riverside Middle School. I am currently a senior at UTEP, majoring in accounting with a minor in finance, hoping to graduate in May of 2021. Without further ado, let's dive into what a post-secondary economics teacher is. Now, first things first. A post-secondary teacher is simply an educator who instructs at a higher level than high school, meaning colleges and universities, technical schools, community colleges, and professional schools. Now, in college, teachers are referred to as professors, so to get us into that habit, we will refer to them as such for the rest of the presentation. The duties of a professor can vary a lot. It depends on their institution, their college, subject, etc. But for now, let's focus on the duties of an economics professor. An economics professor will usually teach a small class of 40 to 60 students, but if it is a large university and they are teaching a beginner economics course, they might just teach in an auditorium with a class size of more than 150 students. With that being said, their most important duty is none other than to teach their students about economics. They have to prepare their lectures accordingly and mannerly, create a class syllabus, have homework assignments, exams, quizzes, projects, and more. Every professor runs their class differently though, and within the economics field, there is a lot of freedom for professors to assign projects, case studies, group assignments, etc. Professors must also provide office hours for the students to come in and ask for help, clarification on a certain topic, or maybe even just discuss professional opportunities. Office hours are there for the students to take advantage of. A little personal advice from my end is to always get to know your professors. It is the easiest way to grow your professional network. Nevertheless, college professors usually conduct some sort of research and publish their findings in either a book, professional journal, or some sort of electronic media. This is most of the time required by the university itself, but that is not the case all the time. Last, but definitely not least, some professors are also part of certain committees or serve as advisors for student organizations, and they have to attend meetings from now and then. Economics is commonly mistaken as a study of the market and stocks, but that is just a misconception. Economics is actually very much related to simply the study of human behavior in relation to resources, scarcity, supply and demand, and decision making. To get a better perspective of what all that means, through the study of economics, one is able to answer questions like the following. Why are some countries rich and some countries poor? What causes recessions? How can profits be maximized? Etc. If you're studying any business related career in college, you'll most likely have to take at least two economic courses. These are macroeconomics and microeconomics. Microeconomics is a study of economics at an individual, group, or company level. On the other hand, macroeconomics is the study of economics of a national economy as a whole. Of course, in order to become an economics professor, these subjects would just be the tip of the iceberg, as their studies require way more economic courses. But let's not jump ahead, as we will discuss that later throughout this presentation. The path to becoming an economics professor is quite rigorous, but it is definitely worth it. A high school degree or an equivalent is required to be admitted to any college. That is the first step. From there, it is recommended to obtain a bachelor's degree in economics. If not, then something that is similar or related. For example, a bachelor's degree in any other business major like finance, accounting, OSCM, etc. This usually takes about 4 years, just like any other bachelor's degree. But of course, if you obtain college credits in high school, you may finish faster. Once a bachelor's degree is obtained, the real fun begins, as the next step is to obtain a master's degree in economics. This time, it does have to be specifically in economics, as that is what you need to master in order to be a PhD in economics. A master's degree takes about 2 years, or in some cases, some universities offer accelerated master's programs that allow you to complete such in less time. The very last step in order to become an economics professor is to complete your PhD, or also known as your doctoral degree. Yes, once you obtain this degree, you may tell people to refer to you as a doctor, which in my opinion is one of the coolest things ever. A PhD is a very big accomplishment that is very, very, very well respected in any field. Another alternative from a PhD degree is to have sufficient experience to make up for it. Most of the time, this experience must come from being in a very high position, like an ex CEO of a company, a financial analyst who was in investment banking in Wall Street for many years. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is the finish line. An economics professor is a very well compensated profession, as one could imagine. On average, the salary of an economics professor breaks down as follows: $111,520 is the average median salary. $53.62 is the average hourly pay. Also, about 13,060 economic professors were employed in 2016, and it is projected that this profession will have a job growth of 13% from 2014 to 2024. It is important to remember that education and salary have a positive correlation, meaning that a higher education usually leads to a higher salary. Overall, an economics professor is a really good career to choose. If you're someone who is very interested in knowing the behavior behind economic movement and decisions, and maybe an office environment is not somewhere where you see yourself in, an economics professor could be the option you're looking for. Do not let the years of study scare you away, as if you truly enjoy the subject of economics, you will enjoy every single step of the journey. Also, remember that in education, you have the opportunity to enrich and open the minds of younger generations. You have the opportunity to have an impact on students for the betterment of themselves, their future, their education, and ultimately on society itself. The pay is also very good indeed, and universities usually really offer many great benefits for their employees. And even though there is a great competition amongst jobs as a professor in universities, educators will always be needed somewhere. The numbers do not lie. Lots of professors are employed yearly, and there is a job growth for the future. One last thing to keep in mind: as a professor, you will have many opportunities to travel, conduct research or study somewhere else, attend conferences, etc. You can make a whole adventure out of this career if you desire to do so. There is a lot of freedom and potential in this profession. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something from it. My name is Cesar Armendariz. I wish you guys the best.